Hello YouTube, Van Hammer again, updating and finishing up this figure base. Just to recap what's happened so far, used some joint compound, mainly used for drywall, fixing up holes, scratches and stuff in drywall. Not bad stuff, no cracking, it's lightweight, sort of like best thing I can describe it as is like shaving foam or whipped cream or something, real light, airy stuff. Spread it across the base. Took my terminators, so I was going to use on the base. Fitted them on where I wanted them. Took a little sculpting tool, dug out where the base set. So I covered it with that. Left the ridges and stuff, so it sort of looks like undisturbed snow, so it turned out to a pretty decent little effect. Next thing I did, take tacky glue, mixed it with a little bit of water so it's easier to brush. Got it sitting right here ready to go. Then what we do is just spread it across the base of the compound, drywall compound. Get it in little cracks and stuff. One of the things that this is going to help do is secure the joint compound. Any place it's cracked or broken loose because it's thin, doesn't really like to be thin. That's one of the problems I've found with it, but technically I should have used a bigger base for this many terminators, but set this wood up, figured I'd start it, and got that far with it, so I figured I'd let you guys see the end of it. Basically just go over the base, hit all the little places you want your effect, your grass or whatever. I'm going to use baking soda since I'm using spacewolves, and generally the fang is nothing but snow, so all my wolves will have a snow base, and kind of different. At least it's not grass. Everybody's got grass, so it's kind of cool to go to something different like the snow. For the snow, I'm just going to use just straight baking soda from wife was nice enough to let me get into her baking supplies. Don't need very much, it's just enough to cover it. The good thing about this lightweight compound, it's white, so you won't have to pre-coat your base with a paint. The white, when it's dry, when this PVA or tacky glue dries, it'll be clear. So the white of the joint compound will show through, and so you won't have to worry about, the black or whatever color you're putting on it showing through on your base when it's done. See, this is just basically the same principle as making a big base for, display base for your army, just some real smaller scale, which I'm kind of thinking about doing for the army, my space wolves, once I get them done, just making a big army board for them too, so the whole army. Kind of contemplating the idea of making each unit its own little display base like this, and then magnetizing the game board or the tourney board or whatever you call the display boards you take with you to tournaments, so you can pluck out the unit and put it all back in your board with magnets. So you just set it back down on top and it becomes secure. I'm kind of thinking that might be a good way to go about making little unit trays almost for being able to put your armies on the board. So you give it back to the glue, just give it a nice little coat every place you want your scenic stuff to set. And like I said, I'm using just simple baking soda, setting it over an old paper plate, and just sprinkle it on. a little heavy, it don't really matter, but you're just going to dump off the excess once you get it on there. I used to watch like the Kimlopian like those guys. They have a lot of different ways of doing these. Pretty much the same thing. You just put on your flock or your static grass or whatever you want to use as your base. So I just happen to be using baking soda for snow. So you just put it on there and so they're set. And soak up to the glue. And if you get it everywhere you want it, you sprinkle it into the whole base. Kind of messy, so definitely want to put it over something. Like I'm using this old paper plate. Just spread it on. Gives you a nice, let's see, like the contours give it a nice snow effect. Actually, I'm kind of liking this. Going on pretty good. And you just tap off excess. And then let it set up. It shouldn't be too bad. Put it back down here in frame. I've been having it on the frame. Sorry about that. But so see, generally just got a little shiny spot here. Just pick this one up and let her set in. Shiny spot there. And let it set. It'll set up, and if you want to get stuff gets a little everywhere. So you get a general look. Disturbed snow. Oh, dog here. But it looks like disturbed snow, and well, they'll clean up this part here so it's nice and finished wood again. That's the general look. Just wipes up, cleans up. Then once it dries, I can set my terminators in it. Ragnar this, guys. Let's set in there. And I got me a little display base for my terminator unit. It's just a little short video. Thanks all the ones that are new subscribers I've got. Appreciate y'all stopping by. But this is pretty much finished, so I'm going to call it a day. Thank you. We'll see you later. Oh yeah, I forgot. One of the things you might want to do before you put your miniatures into your base you made, is take your little hobby knife or something, stretch the edges down a little bit, because generally King's Workshop will have a little sharp edge coming down. It's just going to get caught up in your basing material. So if you take and stretch that edge down, it'll fit a little easier to your piece. And I'll throw some steel picks on the end of this video, and we'll see you all in a bit. Bye.